Yep, this week we have Adon, or,
Sir.
yep, or master. Adonim, it's Adon, or Adonim. And then you have Adam, either the actual guy Adam, or mankind, or man, or a person, depends how it's used. You have Gam, which is also Yad, or Yadim, hand, Yada, to know, and Ki means that or because, that one's very common. And then the word Kol, and both of those are spelled as Kol. All, or every. You have Lev, or Levav, they both mean the same thing. Both means heart. Mi, which is who. And then Moshe, Moses obviously. And then Allah, go up. And then you have Rosh, which is like the head, or like the top, like the head of a mountain, or it could be like this kind of your head, or it could be like a leader, like a captain, or something like that. And Shalom, you guys will have a problem remembering that one. And then Shem, or Shemot.
And the word from last week, so al is until?
Odd.
Ad is until.
Odd is until.
What is al?
Upon.
Upon.
Yep. Or over.
Odd.
Yeah, odd is like as far as or until.
Until, as far as ad.
Odd.
Al is above, upon.
Something like that.
Right.
Yep. Mostly upon.
And then Allah is ascend.
Yeah, like go up.
Go up.
Mhm.
Was there an al Allah?
Ella. And there's an Ele, but we haven't got that yet.
No. Not that bad.
That means like these. Like the book of Exodus, Ele Shemot. These are the names. That's how the book starts out. Okay, and then we get some idioms. Al Yad, it means upon hand. It means like it's next to you, near you. Like we use the word the same way. If we say like, if you call a store and you're like, do you have this on hand? Like you have it nearby or you can get to it. And then Hakol, it means like the all. So it's just, all of it, everything. Okay, so Hebrew word pairs. In both English and Hebrew, a noun can be used to describe another noun. So we do the same thing. In English, the word of is often used when two nouns are joined together in this way. Like we say, a king of peace or a man of war. You're using one noun to describe the other one. But the way we do it in Hebrew is a little bit different. This book calls it a word pair, which makes sense for us. And a lot of other grammars, you'll see it called a construct chain. Because it can be more than two. So it's a word pair or a construct chain. So they give us here, it says, when a Hebrew word is used to describe another Hebrew noun, the two nouns are usually joined together by adding a word between them. Without adding a word between them. We will call two nouns joined together in this way a word pair. And like I said, most times you'll hear it called a construct chain. When people talk about it. The first word of a word pair should be translated with of following it. So you say the first word and then of and then because they just don't say it that way. So here are some examples of word pairs as they appear in the Bible. Devar Melech, a word of a king. Bat Melech, a daughter of a king. So it looks like just like daughter king, right?
Right.
Melech Shalom, a king of peace. Ish Melchama, a man of war.
Oh.
Okay. We're gonna put them together like that. But there's some more stuff to it. We're gonna learn. If it's plural, you'll see. Now you can put. Well, I want to tell you all that yet. Okay, some words do not change as they appear when they appear as the first word of a word pair, like Melech, king, Melech Shalom, or a man of war, Ish Melchama. See, no vowels have changed there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some words change their vowels when they appear as the first word of a word pair. So that could be a signal for you also that it's a word pair. So like we have bite. You see how the vowels there?
Mm-hmm.
Mishpatah, and then here it goes. Now look, it says a house of slaves. Beit Avadim. You wouldn't say Beit Avadim, you say Beit Avadim. Like we used to go to church at Bet Shalom. That's why you don't say Beit Shalom. It's Beit Shalom.
Or
Bet Shalom.
Beit Lechem. It's Bet Lechem.
Yeah.
A house of bread.
Yeah. You wouldn't say Beit Lechem. It's Beit Lechem.
Beit Lechem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, because it's a word pair.
It's a word there. House of bread.
Say that it's like a compound word. Well, that's not really like a compound word, but using one noun to describe the other. So,
I was curious when we get there why it's Bet and not like.
yep, it changes a little bit.
Okay.
Now look at, so we have Devar, and then we have Devar. It sounds the same almost. Devar Melech, a word of the king. So when you see that the vowels are a little funny, and you have two nouns together like that, it should be a signal that it's probably a word pair. So look down at the next little dot. It says when a singular noun that ends with a comates hey is the first word of the word pair, the hey changes to a tav. Don't know why, it just does. Okay? So the hey changes to a tav, and there may also be vowel changes. This is only for the word pairs, okay? So we have behemoth, you know, you guys know this word, an animal, a beast. And then it says we have behemoth sari, behemoth sari. See that? Because it has a mates with the hay, but in the word pair form, that you see behemoth ends like that, right?
Yes.
That goes away, and then we get a tav. We have mishpacha, a family. That ends also with a kametz hey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that will drop away, and then we're going to get a tav instead.
And all the vowels change there from comates to not all the vowels, but the ah vowels.
They get reduced, right? So we have mishpachat achim, the family of brothers.
Mishpachat.
But we would expect to see mishpacha, right? But it says mishpachat. So we know it's a word pair. Mishpachat.
But it's not mishpachot.
Mhm.
It's not families.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it says we have Isha, a woman or wife. Eshet. Eshet Ish. Eshet Ish. Now why? Why would we do this, right? Because on this one particular, if you think about writing the Hebrew with no vowels, you got Ish and Isha. It's gonna kind of look the same, right? So now we can see there's a difference. So the last word of a word pair always remains the same. That one's the same. So the first word is the one that changes. So if you haven't noticed yet, the stuff that ends with a hey, it does funny stuff sometimes. There's other cases where the hey just drops off a lot of times. The hey is in many cases is more like a vowel marker anyways, right? So it's there when there's no nikud, there's no vowel markers. It's there for like a signal, basically. Same how the yod and the vav is sometimes. You guys remember when we learned about that? The hey's kind of like that too. So right here we have a word pair chart. It says we will call the form of a noun with the word pair form. Did I read that correctly? We will call the form of a noun the word pair form. Okay, we know it's already. Now, like I said, you might hear me say construct change, you might hear me say word pair. If you read most other grammars, they'll say construct change, because we're going to get into where there's more than more than one, right? So there can be 3, there can be 4, or whatever. We're starting with just 2. It's not hard, it's the same thing. So when it is the first word of a word pair, the chart below shows the ordinary regular form of each of the nouns you have learned along with its word pair form. Some nouns do not appear as the first word of a word pair. These are not included in this chart. In the glossary of this book, the word pair forms are shown with a dash. See that little dash after the word? And you're gonna see that a lot of times, most of the time in Hebrew, and that'll be a signal to you that it's a word pair also. I think that thing's called a maketh, I believe. But you'll see like some word, and then it'll put a little thing like that, and then like that. And that's kind of to help you know that this is a word pair. So you're not used to seeing the vowels on this one. You're like, what the heck?
Are you saying in this book that's what we're going to see, or is that in
Just in the
Hebrew,
VHS
Bible?
too. Yeah.
We'll see that in scripture?
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of times, not always, but they'll mark that out like that. Like the VHS has, like the VHS is the Biblical Hebraic Septuaginta. That's like the standard Masoretic text that everybody uses. It's like all VHSs are the same. Like if I'm like, hey, look on page 1022 VHS. Like, oh, I got the little one, or you got the big one, or whatever. We all got the same one, and it has the Masorah notes in it. It has like the little, it has the cancellation marks. It has the little circles above the words when you look over, and it'll have like a Hebrew letter that tells you like this word's used this many times in the Bible in this exact form. And then it'll give you a little superscript, and you look down. We looked at it the other day. It's mostly in Latin at the bottom, and then you look down at the notes in the bottom, and it'll give you all like the textual information, like Septuagint says this, the whatever says this, the Barberini says this, and it'll show you like those. Then you can have. There's another book that goes with it. My teacher gave me a PDF of it. When we get to that stuff later, I can share it with you guys. But if you buy, it's called the Masorah Magna. If you buy it, it's like $700.
Wow.
But he gave me the PDF of it, so I want to print it out and get it hole punched and put into a binder.
How many pages is it?
It's 2 volumes,
Oh, wow.
but it's all the Masoretic notes.
Wow.
You know, the guys that put the dots on the dashes, they were sharp. So they were super sharp. So when you see the little thing, everybody thinks that's it at the VHS. Not everybody, but most people that start doing this, they think that's it. It's like, no, that's like just the Witcher whistle. Like there's a whole another thing, like this is where it's found this many times and it's spelled this ways, and every once in a while, like there's like one time where it's got an extra dot or something. They know all that stuff, and it's all in there, and you can go look it up, and you can compare it with Septuagint, Barberini, Peshitta, all that stuff. Because we're interested. I love the Masoretic text, but I'm interested in what the Bible says, right? So if we have like Dead Sea Scrolls, Peshitta, and we got the Septuagint and the Barberini text that differ from the Masoretic text, and those are good witnesses. We probably should go with what the other ones say if there's a variant, right? It's like we want to know all that stuff. We're interested. But now you guys are going to get to where you're going to be able to use all that. How did we get here? Oh, we're talking about the maquette. Okay.
Yes.
It's called a maquette.
I believe it's called a maquette.
Macaf, and it is in the text that we might, if you're in scripture.
Yeah, if you've got a VHS, you'll see that on all of it. So, it doesn't have to be there, but it might be there. All right, so words with no changes in the word pair form. So they give you a little list right here on page 73. And so that's nice to have. Now, below that, they give you another little chart that says words with vowel changes in the word pair forms. The words that you've got so far. You'll recognize them anyways. I think you would. I think you guys will. You guys are pretty sharp. They turn to page 74. We'll go a little bit of this here. Okay, words ending with hey and vowel changes in the word pair form. Okay. We saw some of these already. kind of basically already talked about this. But it ends with the hay and the mates. Let's see, what time is it? 11:08. Okay, what I want you guys to do is just read this chapter, and we're gonna go over it next week. Just read this chapter. I'll tell you what. Read this chapter and look and do the vocabulary for chapter 10. And we'll talk about chapter 9. You guys want me to pronounce I'll pronounce
Yes.
vocab. Okay, start in the right column. Oh hell.
Wait,
Oh, hell.
wait, chapter 10.
Yeah.
11.
Oh hell.
Okay.
Yeah. Or we have Ohelim. It's plural. Tense. Like the Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting. Okay, now look what they give you, that third one there with the little dash, the Maketh. I'm gonna check that. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. That's the word pair form. See it?
Getting
Yes.
tricky.
See how they provide it for us there? You would still recognize it anyway. But. Then the next word we have is Zahav, that means gold. Zahav. We have Yaakov. I should have made you guys learn Matovu, that song. It has some of these same words in it. Oh,
We can put it in the group chat for them.
Group chat it.
Okay. So Yaakov is Jacob, and then we have the word ko. It means thus, but I always remembered it as so. So we have ko. So Kohen. You're probably used to hearing it pronounced Cohen. Okay. Kohanim. And then they give you the word pair. It's the same. Okay, we have the word kli. Kli. It's like kli. Kli. Yeah. Or plural kalim. You'll see that one in the word pair form a lot. Kli. It's a vessel or an instrument or a dish. It's kind of a broad word. It could mean like a bowl, or it could mean like an implement, like if I was to strike something with something. That could be a kli as well. And you have midbar. Midbar. The book of Numbers is really called Bamidbar, in the wilderness, in the desert.
Midbar.
Midbar. Midbar.
Midbar.
And then you have Makom, the place. Like Red Macomb.
So I was just thinking, whose place?
Mechamotes. Places. Nephish. See that a lot. It's like what?
Neck.
Nephish. Nephish. It's just nephish.
Yeah.
It's like soul. It's a broad word too. It's just soul. That's a life. It can mean other things, like when Habakkuk, when we saw that in English it translated it, that he enlarges his appetite like Sheol. But it said he enlarges his nephesh like Sheol. But it kind of can be, in poetic sense, it could be used that way. But like when God formed Adam from the dust, and he breathed in him and became a nephesh. So our Bible says living soul. So he became nephesh. And we have od, means like again. Like can you do something again? Yet more. We have ayin. Your eye. Ayin.
So the yod and the dagish below it make it an I sound, right?
No, that's a Hirig yod.
Or
but,
period yod.
It's a diphthong, remember?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Right, which is why I thought it made an I sound.
This makes the I sound.
Oh, I see
could
what I
say,
did. I see what I
Yin, but we don't say it like that. Ayin. Ayin. It's ayin. Just the way we say it. Or the word pair, ain. Like the eyes have roots or something, you could say ain roots. Panim is face, or it could also be faces.
Did you say the word above I? Did you say all of the phrases?
Oh no. Ayin,
Okay.
let's see. A nine, and ain. Ayin, a nine, ain.
Ayin, Inayan, Ain.
Got it. Now faces is panim, or it's also face or faces. It looks plural, but it's really not. It's in a dual form, as we call it. Like Mitzrayim, like Egypt is in a dual form. We talked about all that, right?
Waters.
Waters.
Yeah.
So it's like you have two sides of your face. So
Mhm.
panim, it just always looks plural. You have Rachel. It's Rachel. Rachel. And you have Sar. Or
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
What?
Caesar,
Russian.
Czar, yeah, Czar.
Oh.
Same word Caesar is Roman for
Oh, is it?
chief, yeah.
Oh,
Caesar, Czar is Russian, yeah.
oh, Czar. Oh,
Czar.
gotcha.
Mhm.
Yep. This one is Sar. Or
It's easy, yeah.
Sarin. You'll see this.
Saruman.
You see this word translated a lot as princess.
Mhm.
Princess.
Oh, yeah.
Like Prince of Peace. Sar Shalom. Prince. Chief. Something like that.
Chief.
Something like that.
did. Got it.
All right, so learn these vocabulary words, and then we'll go over chapter 9 real good. You guys, chapter 9 is going to be easy for you guys, okay? Just learn the vocabulary for both those chapters, and we'll go through chapter 9. You guys will like it. It's going to be easy. The word pairs easy. Why are you making that face?
Because.
Is it possible, I don't want to delete too long, is it possible, could you just do one thing for me, sir? Can you say all of the forms of Haya?
Yeah.
Oh,
What page is it
yeah.
on?
Let me get mine
I
out.
believe it's on page 62 at the very bottom. You have all the guard, the shamar forms, and then the Haya forms, and some of them I was just not sure.
Okay. Hayiti?
Can you
Haiti?
wait just 1 second?
Yeah.
Haiti?
Nope. Hayiti.
Where are they? Oh,
62, bottom left.
Do you guys try to avoid writing too much of the English in there all the time? Because I know it was giving Katie a problem before, because she was like
Became my crush.
with the it became a crutch. Yeah,
mine are crutches. Okay, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
it's all right. So like Iowa. Okay, the word is Haya, right?
Hiya.
Haya. So Haiti, like I was. Hayita, you were. Hayit, you were. Haya, he was. Hayita, she was. Hayinu, we were. Hayitem, y'all, masculine. Hayitin, Hayu. Yeah. Can I do it again? Haiti, I was. Hayita, you were. Hayit, you were, female. Haya, he was. Hayita, she was. Hayinu, we were. Hayitem, yo. Hayiten, y'all were. And then Hayu, they were.
Okay, thanks, Lee.
You got it. Any other one?
That was it. That was it.
The hardest words to pronounce in the Bible are the names.
The formal name?
And like people's names.